The Banks Vernonia State Trailhead. I don't know if it's State Trailhead, I think it is. It's a beautiful one. Being a warrior isn't about violence. You know, in our yoga practice, we're always working with warrior poses, which aren't about defense. They're actually about release of defense, going after what it is you wish to achieve in a fearless and a loving and a kind way, without fear, without holding heaviness of thought. Because ultimately, courage comes from the gut. So you have to overcome any emotions that might be lying in the gut and conquer whatever mountain you wish to climb. That's really what being a warrior is all about. Moving towards the discomfort, opening yourself up to the unknown, taking on the perceived obstacles. But I'm approaching what they call Top Hill, which is basically the highest elevation between the little town I live in and the so-called destination of another little town about 21 miles away. So I'm going to go down Top Hill, go up the other side, get into the beautiful Stub Stewart State Park, and ride, and it's pretty much a gradual decline from there. But then I got to turn around, and I got to come back, and I got to come back up Top Hill. And it's steep, and I'll be tired, real tired by then. I don't think about that. I mean, it crosses my mind how hard it might be, but I don't dwell on it. I'm present right here, right now. And believe me, I just rode the last 7 miles going gradually up. Now I'm at the top and I feel amazing, exhilarated. Beautiful thing, this dopamine. You should try it. Only comes when you push yourself. The hard part. Push harder through the hard part. 12 miles from the end of this line, which is about 10 miles from my house. So I know I'm going to do at least 20 today, probably 30, but it's easy going from here, and then I'll have to turn around and do more work. But the payoff is when I get home and I can ride the high for hours. Oh yeah. Plus, I'm building muscle. I'm working my heart muscle. You are a warrior, and not an angry or defensive one, but one that loves yourself and is fearless in your communication with others. And you're not afraid to be respectful and loving and kind to others. You dissolve negative emotions in the gut. And that's what gives you power. Power to conquer more uncomfortable things and realize they aren't nearly as uncomfortable as your mind initially makes them out to be. You know, so start thinking about that. When your mind comes in and tells you all the things that are going to happen or could happen, just know that when you're in the reality of the situation and you're out there pedaling away, it's probably going to be a lot easier than your mind said it was going to be. So stop believing everything your mind says and just start living in the present moment and moving towards challenges and pushing yourself beyond discomfort. Warrior, peaceful, kind. I gotta change gears. I was all cold at home. I got out there and I'm like, okay, time to take some layers off here. I'm about to take my wool off. Just wear a t-shirt. Anyway, I'm on the other side of Top Hill now, and I feel amazing. I just came about 10 miles. I'm just riding and being present in the moment. I am riding the high of dopamine right now because I just made it up that hill. So I feel blissful. And right now, for the next 8 miles, it's just going to be pretty flat. So I've done the hard part on the way in. I'm going to end up in a beautiful forest, and then I'll turn around, I'll go back and I'll conquer my challenges, and I'll conquer the other side of Top Hill, and it'll be fine. I'm not going to think about it before I get there. I'm just going to ride and be in bliss land. Sometimes it crosses my mind when I'm really tired or fatigued. My muscles feel fatigued. I'm like, oh, Top Hill's going to be hard, but I don't dwell on it. I'm on the other side and I'm coasting downhill home. The hardest part of this ride is about 300 yards from my house, and it's all uphill, and I'm usually pretty fatigued by then. But I conquer it, and that's the warrior in me, is to just do it. Just fucking do it. That's the problem with people now, is they think about all the shit that they don't want to do. If I was at home right now, I'd be freezing my ass off, probably. My blood would be stagnant, and I would be depressed, probably. I'd be tired, and I'd probably have a headache because I'd be in front of the computer doing work. Look at me, I'm in a t-shirt. I've taken off 3 layers of clothing because I'm hot. I feel really blessed, and I'm very happy to be out here. And I'm ready for really any situation, although I don't dwell on things in my head like, well, what if a mountain lion came down the path right now? Okay, I've got a pocket knife. I'll use my wiles to figure that out. But, probably not going to happen. But even if it did, I'm not going to think about it before it does, so I'm prepared. That's the warrior, is overcoming fears, challenges, and moving towards it and just fucking doing it. That should be Nike's slogan, is just fucking do it, because people, I know a lot of people that get stagnant in their heads and their what ifs and their, oh, I don't feel like it, or that's too hard. And really, like, if you want to get anywhere in life, it's just about conquering all of those voices in your head that aren't the reality of the situation. Is when you open your eyes and you become aware of, like, the situation you're in right now that doesn't exist in your mind, it exists in your experience of now. So right now, I'm going to put my music back on, and I'm going to go book it down to Stub Stewart State Park, probably do another 8 to 10 miles, and I'll turn around, I'll go home, and I'll work. And I'll feel amazing while I'm sitting at the computer now, and I'll be happy, I'll be in a good mood, and I'll feel energized. Life is fucking beautiful. Me feeling good allows me to pass that good feeling on to the others I come into contact with. So life is really beautiful, even on gray, potentially rainy days. Probably couldn't ask for a better situation than I'm in right now. You give me $1 million, it's not going to make me any happier than right here and now. Guaranteed, because I'm just living in real time, and I'm overcoming the challenges, not getting caught up in the mind, and taking on whatever obstacles come my way. So beautiful. I can hear the water, see some people coming towards me. It's incredible out here. Really sure, but look at that. So quaint. Whew. Okay, so I'm at the same place that I recorded before I got to Stub Stewart. I pushed it further than I thought I would because it's all downhill, so to push it is really just to keep coasting. I feel fucking fantastic. I'm hot, very hot, sweaty. I did put my wool back on because when you get to Stub, then it's downhill. And when you're riding downhill, you're not working a sweat and you get chilly. So I'm gonna go down to the hill, down to the highway, and then up Top Hill the other side. That is really intense and hard, but very short. A couple 100 yards, if even that. And then it's like, I think it's like 10 miles to home, and it's all pretty much downhill till I get to really my my road, which is going to be another hard uphill, but then I get to go home and be in bliss land, because by then my dopamine levels will have hit baseline again probably. So I'll get that one last workout, get my dopamine up again. This is where life becomes absolutely delicious, because you just want to savor every minute. And it is about the work. And yeah, hard work leads to the payoffs, and the payoffs are pretty fucking big. So I just made it up top hill again, top hill, other side. It's like over before you know it. And then you get to coast all the way downhill, basically until you get to Vernonia. So it's about, I think it's like 10 miles from here. Then my house is a couple of miles beyond the trailhead there. So anyway, I'll probably get chilly now because it's starting to rain and it's all downhill from here. I won't be working hard, but that's fine. I have rain gear. So it ended up being a 32-mile ride. That's why I hold no expectations. I only planned on doing 30. I went 32. I feel great. It's 1:30. I have not eaten yet today. My last meal was at about 7 p.m. last night. So I'm in a fasted state and my body is burning fat as fuel right now. A fasted state begins 2 hours after your last meal. So if we ate at maybe 7 p.m. last night, my fasted state would have started at 9 p.m. And then so 9 p.m. this morning, or 9 a.m. this morning, was 12 hours in. Now it's 1:30. I'll probably be eating at 2 because I have to make the food. So I'll be 17 hours into a fasted state and I just rode 32 miles. If I can do it, you can do it too. You have to adapt. You have to build up to it. But I encourage, anybody who wants to change their physical body in a way that is healthier, right now the science says that intermittent fasting is one of the quickest ways to begin cellular repair. It is one of the most efficient ways to burn fat. It is really the healthiest way that most of us should live. If you have, some chronic illness, maybe you can't do it. If you have diabetes, type 2 diabetes, I'm not a doctor, don't take my advice, but there has been research that shows that when you begin intermittent fasting, that you can change the way that your body modify the insulin sensitivity. I'll just put it that way. Not eating sweets. I don't eat refined sugar, and I don't bring sweet snacks or gross energy bars on my rides because they spike your blood sugar. They're full of a bunch of garbage. Right now I'm about to make food, breakfast burritos with organic eggs and sprouted grain tortillas and real cheese and guacamole with fresh salsa. Throw some power greens like spinach and kale in the eggs. So we'll hit all the food groups. And I'm breaking my fast not only after my intense exercise with protein, but also after my fasted state with protein. And the research is out that if you regularly intermittent fast, that breaking your fast with protein is one of the best things you can do. Then you're building, like for me, I just did intense exercise. I want to build muscle. So eating protein is the way you do that. I think I should reiterate that I didn't start cycling until I was about 44. I started really intensely cycling. I am 50 now. I'm in the best shape of my life. I teach a lot of yoga asana classes and bike, but it's winter time right now. So normally I'd be biking. I'd be doing that ride about three times a week. Right now, I'm only doing it like once a week. We're entering January, February, where the bike path will probably be less rideable. It's pretty much shady the whole way to the state park. So I'll have to find other avenues of fitness. My partner and I do Pilates, and we'll start on our Pilates regimen again through this wintertime. And he absolutely loves Pilates, right?
Oh, yes.
But he has to have Pilates in his life to build hip mobility and strength. But
Keep up those young'uns.
if I'm 50 and I'm in the best shape of my life now, and I can, do what I do, then so can you.